You put a 2-year-old child in a crib with a bunny rabbit and an apple? Let me know when the child eats the bunny rabbit and plays with the apple.
Welcome to The Cannabis Vegan. I'm Jason Logic. On today's show, we're going to be looking at Henry Ford's 1941 Hemp plastic car, as well as looking forward to the Cannabis Vegan hemp building material and the 2016 electric cannabis car, as well as the vegan hemp burgers. This and more on The Cannabis Vegan.
I notice you have clothes on, and I notice that you have a cell phone and you have a computer. It is unfair to pick one thing that lions do that you want to mimic when you don't want to mimic anything else they do. When lions walk up and greet each other, they sniff each other's ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass.
My name is Will.
And my name is Alexa.
We are the founders of Bay Roots.
Our company makes delicious, organic, vegan hemp burgers, and we're ready for you to try one. What makes these hemp burgers so good for you is the nutritional profile found in the hemp seed. Packed with more protein than meat, these hemp seeds are the driving force behind our burgers.
The burgers began in spring of 2010 as a way for my mom to eat without the meat or GMOs.
This year, while falling in love with each other, we followed our hearts to take up residence on the beautiful island of Maui. And while living sustainably there, the idea blossomed for us to take this simple family recipe and turn it into a successful business.
What makes our hemp burgers so delicious are the fresh organic ingredients we use, like hemp seeds, brown rice, quinoa, black beans, freshly chopped onions, peppers, garlic, and sun-dried tomatoes. And loaded with natural spices, these hemp burgers will leave you wanting more.
Now that you know what's inside these burgers, let's see what people have to say about them.
I think this is really good, and it's better than the stuff that they serve in the cafeteria. This hemp burger, really good. It's really nice and yummy.
It's delicious. I like the taste of hemp already, but the spices and secret ingredients that you guys added, they just sing. They're just great.
My passion for bringing awareness to the fact that America is the only industrialized nation that doesn't grow hemp, and my love for organic healthy food is what fuels Bay Roots. We began making and selling our burgers 6 months ago on Maui, and every morning we made our drop-off, the burgers would sell out within hours. So as the demand rose, and working 12-hour days, I could no longer fill that demand. That's why we have decided to take Bay Roots back home to Berkeley, California to expand our production and grow our company. That's where you come in. We are going to raise $20,000 to expand our production and bring these hemp burgers to a store near you. The money you contribute will help to go towards a UPC barcode needed to sell in grocery stores, the eco-friendly packaging, full-size commercial kitchen, and to be able to hire a team to help distribute these burgers so by the end of summer 2013, you can expect to see our hemp burgers in your local grocery store. So now you're probably asking yourself, why Bay Roots? We believe that by feeding happy people
and fueling a healthy planet,
together we can change the world. So thank you for taking the time to check out our campaign. Be sure to check out all the awesome perks that we've designed especially for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Imagine a world we could live in, planting seeds in the minds of our children. Plant these trees and grow a solution. Hemp can heal the world. Imagine a world we could live in, planting seeds in the minds of our children. Plant these trees and grow a solution. Hemp can save the world.
when you're a hash maker, the resin tells you the story of the growth of the plant. It's almost like a book. Because the plant is a living organism, there is something that comes from those plants that cannot be duplicated inside. I've seen great indoor, but they don't have that power, energy that a plant got when she's grown outdoors 6 months, full power. There is something that exists in the Emerald Triangles where you have incredible amounts of microclimate. You have genetics that is most certainly unique, and you have a know-how behind what you're doing. It's something that cannot be duplicated. For me to be able to know that there is 6 months of dedication, of love that I receive in my hands, it's like that relation, that circle, there is nothing more important.
It's legal in some countries to grow hemp for fiber. And in France, this woman whose name is France Perrier, Madame France Perrier, she builds about 300 houses a year using hemp and cement lime, and she makes a thing called isochanvre, and she mixes the lime with hemp herbs, the leftover parts of the hemp plant after the fiber's been extracted, and hemp does this amazing thing. It turns to stone, it petrifies. And so when you mix the lime and hemp herbs together, you get something stronger than cement at 1/6 the weight.
Amongst the thousands of products made from hemp, one of the most extraordinary is Henry Ford's plastic car. Built in 1941, it contained cellulose fibers derived from hemp, sisal, and wheat straw. The plastic was lighter than steel, yet could withstand 10 times the impact without denting.
A new car built largely from hemp is being billed as the world's most eco-friendly car. The Kestrel has a top speed of just under 60 miles per hour and can travel around 100 miles before it needs to be recharged. Up to 4 people can fit in the eco-friendly automobile, and the body, made from hemp fibers, is highly resistant to impact. After a crash, the panels pop back into shape, reducing damage. The body of the car was designed by Motive Industries, based in Quebec. Nathan Armstrong, the president of the company, explained, "Hemp composite is as strong as the fiberglass in boats, yet incredibly lightweight." Research into how to build a car from hemp was sponsored by a coalition of business and schools of engineering. In 1941, Henry Ford designed and built a car made entirely from organic materials, including hemp. Tests showed the car bodies were stronger and weighed less than comparable models made from steel. Unlike the United States, the government of Canada is actively supporting the growth of hemp industry in their nation. The plant can be used in more than 50,000 products. Hemp can replace plastic and petroleum in a wide range of uses. The 3-door hatchback weighs just 2,500 pounds. A Ford Fusion, which is about the same size, weighs 1,200 pounds more than the Kestrel. This increases fuel efficiency by 25 to 30% over traditional designs. Unlike metals, hemp does not need high heat or toxic chemicals to process or shape. This provides a great benefit to the environment over older car designs.
Imagine a world we could live in, planting seeds in the minds of our children. Plant these trees and grow a solution. Hemp can heal the world. Imagine a world we could live in, planting seeds in the minds of our children. Plant these trees and grow a solution. Hemp can save the world.
Moving on to our next story. This one really caught my attention. The fact that we're seeing patients left and right in so many states that are right at the verge of being able to get the medical help that they need, you really got to consider how many of those people aren't really going to see the medical care in their life, because they're no more than a month to 3 months to maybe even a day away from having cannabis in their life. And if just ministering this one time could save them a whole month that they would have died a day later because they didn't have it, well, that just is a promise that every person here should get it. We have many cases coming out, especially out of the New Hampshire area, where this woman had defined and got her privilege to get medical cannabis, but unfortunately when it was passed would be that much later and she'd possibly be dead. Well, she made sure to push that limitation and made it happen. A judge had ruled last month that she would basically be able to get all she can, when she can, as long as she can. So, big hooray to that victory, guys. Big hooray to that. More details on that, go to 420intel.com. Moving to our next story, okay? This one here really blew my mind. This one got me thinking about way more than there's really capable that, you know, so many people get caught. So many people are always being mistreated for the most simplest things. For instance, there's a lot of people getting raided that just have 1 to 3 plants. And these people really need this medication. They are by no means breaking laws or anything silly like that, okay? Well, I want to let you know, as of the December 2nd, in California, we have it passed, okay, that basically growing a plant, as long as you're a medical patient and you're within your guidelines, it is not a crime. You will not be convicted of it whatsoever. Basically, it boils down to that your plants are as equivalent to a barking dog or playing your loud music late at night kind of thing. So that really shows the variation of really what's going on, and that's a huge victory for us in this winter California time when we're transitioning into 2016. So big hooray to that, guys. Very big victory to that. Before we go any further, I'd like to mention that we're going to be looking forward to the recap of 2015's 30 most cannabis breakthroughs of all the things that have inspired all of us. Also, we're going to be taking a look at Steve D'Angelo's breakthroughs that he has had through his awareness, his own dispensary, and a little bit on his book and on his life, Cannabis Manifesto. This and more coming up on the late edition of The Cannabis Vegan.
You put a 2-year-old child in a crib with a bunny rabbit and an apple? Let me know when the child eats the bunny rabbit and plays with the apple. And I notice that you have a cell phone and you have a computer. It is unfair to pick one thing that lions do that you want to mimic when you don't want to mimic anything else they do. When lions walk up and greet each other, they sniff each other's ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass.